So if you're curious to learn about one of the most powerful alchemist tools that are right at your fingertips, then watch this video because it's for you. Hi, I'm Brittany Rochelle. I'm an anger alchemist, teaching you how to alchemize rage to live a magnificently melanated life. And today I'm talking about one of the most powerful alchemy tools that you have right at your own fingertips. So often when we think about alchemy, it's like this weird, magical, mystical, like, I don't know how to do this. It's so like crazy and outside of the realm of what I know and what I learn. And so often what we learn is really based from tools of people who have a vested interest in our own oppression. And when we think about really claiming our own power outside of a very colonized landscape, anything outside of that seems like magical or weird or like voodoo, voodoo, hoodoo, like a weird, mystical, crazy thing kind of like here on the side. And I think what's so powerful for myself and for so many of the clients I work with is to claim their own magic and their own power and their own ability to alchemize in their own body. And when we think about these exiled kind of outside parts, we can definitely think about that as people of color. We know that we are so often marginalized or othered, and often sexuality is an entire expression that is often on the outskirts or unconventional or weird or strange. And I'm proposing that you can actually use your own sexuality, your genitals, which are at your fingertips, to actually alchemize and transform so much of the systemic oppression and the anger and resentment and bitterness and hopelessness that's so often a byproduct of that. Use the very thing that we're told is weird and unconventional and crazy to actually alchemize all of that to become our most powerful, magnificent versions of ourselves. So often, specifically as Black and brown women, we're often fetishized, hypersexualized, or completely desexualized, or seen as exotic. And this is really just another way to other us. And I know for myself, and for so many of our clients, we have very early experiences of our bodies and of going through puberty, being objectified and being in unsafe situations with people who have systemic privilege in the ways that they used our bodies or referenced our bodies to really be the butt of jokes, really feeling deeply unsafe, and in my own experience wanting to disassociate from my body, from my butt, from my thighs, from my breast, because they were often used as tools to try to oppress and continue to otherize me in a white dominated culture. And so very much like being empowered in a melanated body, it's so important to learn our own history, to learn about strong, powerful, vulnerable, loving, revolutionary people who look like us. It's just as important and powerful to learn about the power of our own sexuality, and specifically in a patriarchal world, learning about the power of female, or in this case, cisgendered females or women, and the power of our own genitals and this very root chakra and the amount of energy that we can access through this. I have a lot more videos on this, but some of the most amazing things I've learned about the capability of my own body is that every cis woman has the ability to experience massive pleasure and massive orgasms, and to even female ejaculate. I also didn't even know that I had a clitoral head and shaft and legs, and that cis women have just as much erectile tissue as cis men do that's distributed throughout our bodies and in specifically our vulvas. And so you might be thinking, like, what are all these random sexual facts and how do they relate to like alchemizing anger? And when you think about it, being able to alchemize, you need a power source. You need some sort of magic. You need some sort of unconventionality here. And the way I alchemize is through using this sexual center, this sexual energy, and this power source, this energy source, to actually supercharge our own ability to alchemize and transform really disempowering situations to find our own power. And I think being able to claim your own sexual power, your own sexual capability, and to love your body, and also to see the amount and to know for yourself the amount of incredible, life-changing, didn't even know it was possible level of sexual pleasure absolutely helps you translate this sense of empowerment, this sense of possibility, this sense of confidence in who you are and what your body, your black and brown body can do, translates into the world. And when we have pride of the way that we look, of our genitals, it actually allows us to show up and have pride in the way that we navigate the world and who we are. So the more that you can safely, consensually, lovingly, gently explore your own sexual pleasure, the more that you can then show up in your life with confidence and certainty in the way that you navigate any situation. And for women of color who have been marginalized in so many different ways, intersecting identities and intersecting points of oppression, it can be one of the most powerful things to really claim our own melanated sexuality as we navigate our world and show up empowered in our lives. If this content has been informative, curious, sparking some interest in you, I invite you to check out my absolutely free ebook called Melanin: A Reclamation, where I share more of my own journey with my melanated sexuality and ways that I've used to dismantle the shame and disgust that's often seeped into our bodies, both from racism and also from sexism. So if that's something that you'd like to heal and show up more powerful in your life, check out my free book.